Okay, folks, so let's start over chapter one. Chapter one is about software, and we'll discuss couple of types of software. We'll discuss definition of software. We'll discuss mainly some application software and system software. So today, in the first part of this chapter, we're gonna discuss three main things. We'll talk about definition of operating system. Then we will discuss the types of different operating systems and the pros and cons of different types of operating system. So before I directly jump into operating system, so firstly let's start with the software because once we discuss the software, then we can actually understand from where this operating system, OS is a short form, from where this particular operating system word it came from. So software, if you want to define a software is nothing, it's just some set of instructions to execute a specific task. So software is basically set of instructions to execute specific tasks. So to execute specific tasks, we use a software. Now software can be of two types. There are mainly two types of software. So it can be further classified into two types. It can be a system software or it can be an application software. So system software, as you can see, the name suggests system. So any software which is designed for computer. So software that is designed for computer is called system software. And there are mainly two types of system software. One is operating system and second is utility programs. While application software is basically designed for users and users can directly interact with them. Interact with application software. Application software are your mobile application like Microsoft Word, even your mobile games, your computer games, Microsoft PowerPoint. All these are basically the application software where user can directly interact with those applications. While system software is basically which is not designed directly for users but for the systems like antiviruses, for example, let's say utility programs, etc. So let me define what is a system software, and then we'll come to application software as well. So system software is basically it provides it's basically a program. So it is system software. SW is the short form for that. So program that offers structure and hardware control necessary to run computer and its peripherals. So this is called system software. Now system software can be further classified into two types. So system software, if you want to define classified system software, it can be operating system, OS, and utility programs. There are two main types of system software. Now this is basically from where this operating system comes from. Now let's talk about operating system, and then I'll give you a basic overview of utility program, and then we will move to our agenda of types and the pros and cons. So operating system, first of all, let's understand what is basically operating system. So operating system, it provides a platform. Let me just define it and then I'll explain you guys what is operating system. Operating system, what it does, it provides a platform to control all computer functionalities. And you can also say it provides GUI. It is graphical user interface to visualize the computer hard drive or hardware control, whatever you want to name it. So let's understand what is basically operating system. So for example, let's say if I ask you, can you please turn on your, let's say this is your car, And let's say if I ask you, can you please turn on the AC of the car? Let's say this is AC of the car. If I ask you, can you please turn on the AC of the car without pressing the on button? Like you want to turn on the AC machine, like the AC machine, AC is a machine, and you want to, I ask you guys to turn on the AC without pushing that on button. So it would be really hard for you guys. Like maybe if there's a mechanical engineer, automobile engineer, they know how exactly the machine works. They can do that without pressing that button. But for a layman, it's very hard. Like, I mean, that particular button, it provides an interface to turn on that machine. It's very easy. Let's say if you want to turn on your fan, let's say your fan, you want to turn on this fan. You just have to hit this button and it can turn on the fan. So that particular button provides a platform. So exactly the same way, operating system provides a platform to control computer. For example, if there is no operating system installed on your computer, on your machine, can you control your computer CPU? Can you watch a movie? Can you play something? No. If you want to watch the movie, what it requires? It requires certain amount of memory. It requires certain amount of CPU and stuff like that. So all these particular things, all these attributes are basically inside the operating system. Operating system controls the CPU, whatever is required in order to watch a video. Operating system manages all the resources. So operating system provides a platform. It's very simple. If you want to turn on the fan, so you just have to, you have a platform or you have an interface, and that interface is the button. So you just have to turn on the button and it will turn on the fan. It will provide power or whatever other stuff in it. You don't have to manually do that. Similarly, operating system also provide the platform. Okay. Now, operating system, another definition of operating system is basically a software. So please remember these definitions. These definitions are very important from your exam point of view, for your quizzes and for your final exam as well. So please make your notes. So software that manages hardware, HW hardware, and software, SW, and supports basic computer functions. It is called, that is basically what operating system is. The next is the utility program, which is the second type of system software. If you see, we were discussing this system software. System software can be operating system, or it could be utility program. So let's talk about utility program, and then I'll come to operating system and its type and all that. So what is basically utility programs? So first of all, utility programs are basically, you can say, they perform some maintenance related tasks. For example, antiviruses, firewalls, all these are basically utility programs. So utility program is basically they performs specific maintenance related tasks. Secondly, utility programs are included in both Windows and Mac. Okay, it comes with both of the operating systems. Like in Windows, we call it control panel, and in the Mac, it is system preferences, where the utility programs are. What exactly they can do? They can do the disk formatting, disk defragmentation, disk cleanup, etc., etc. Other than that, what else they can do? You can also they provide restore and file search option as well, like a small bar where you can type, like in Windows, it's right on the right top, there's a box to search a specific item. All these are basically features of utility programs. Next, operating systems, types of operating system. There are mainly three types of operating system. First type of operating system is called desktop operating system. Second type is called mobile operating system. Third type is called network operating system. Network operating system, short form is NOS. mobile operating system is MOS and etc. There is another type of operating system which is called embedded operating system, like RTOS, real-time operating system, but we'll discuss that in our upcoming chapter, specifically in chapter 4. So desktop operating system, there are mainly two main types of desktop operating system. In fact, there are three, but there are two main types of desktop operating system. One is Windows, second is Macintosh, Mac operating system, and currently like in Windows we have Windows 10, and for Mac operating system currently they use Mojave. This is the current version of the Mac operating system, and we do have Linux as well. We can use Linux in our desktop operating systems as well. There are two main mobile operating system. One is Android and second is iOS. Network operating system, there are three main types of network operating system. First is the Microsoft Server, which is Microsoft or Microsoft Server, whatever, some people they just write it Microsoft. Second is the Avaya, and the third one is Unix. These are the three main commonly network operating systems. So let's discuss all of them one by one. Specifically, we're going to discuss desktop and mobile operating system. We'll discuss network operating system in our chapter 4 of Connect, the network chapter. So let's start with the Windows operating system. Now, Windows operating system, for three things that you need to know about Windows operating system. First of all, as you know, the most commonly used operating system with personal computers. Secondly, Windows 10 is the latest version, owned by Microsoft. I believe everybody is well familiar. Microsoft, they actually own Microsoft Windows. What are the pros? There are many pros. I'm gonna give you two of the main pros of Windows. The first benefit of Windows is it is compatibility. So it is highly compatible with softwares, with hardware, and even it actually works with different vendors' products as well. Secondly, a lot of help is available. Because it has users in billions, so automatically it has more developers, more people that actually work on Windows and stuff like that. One of the con of Windows is it is more prone to viruses and malware. And the reason is that, again, because it is more common, more people, they actually use Windows. So definitely hackers, they also, target the large population. It doesn't mean that they make, deliberately they make the, vulnerable operating system. It's not like that. It's basically like most of the hackers, they actually work on Windows, on the disclosure, or you can say on the weakness of the Windows. Mac operating system, three things about Mac operating system. First of all, Mac operating system is owned by Apple Incorporation. Secondly, it only comes Mac operating system, it only comes with Apple products. And the bad thing is Mac operating system, it's not compatible with other vendors' product. Like, for example, if you have a Dell computer, you cannot put Mac operating system in Dell computer. The best thing about it, it offers best photo editing and video editing features. And that is why Mac operating system, it became the filmmaking or film editing industrial software. Pros and cons of Mac. One of the pros of Mac is it is less prone to viruses and malware, as compared to Windows operating system. And secondly, it offers best photo editing features. photo editing. There are in the Mac computers or in iPhones, it does provide the what we call iMovie, in fact, and it offers plenty of options for trailers and all that stuff. So please do explore that, and I'll definitely show you in our video lecture as well. Cons of Mac operating system: it is less compatible. It is less compatible with software, with other vendors' product, and of course, it is expensive. It has expensive hardware and expensive software as well. Then we will come to Android operating system. Another very important thing which I would like to highlight here for Mac operating system and iOS application. Like, in order to make iOS application, it's very hard, because a developer, they have to pay a little amount of fee as well as developer has to use mainly two tools in order to, if you want to make a iOS application. Let's say if you are an iOS developer, app developer, so you have to use two main software to test the app and to configure the app. One is called Xcode and second is Swift. So these are the two main tools that one has to use, iOS developer has to use, in order to build the app, in order to put the app on iOS platform. Please do remember these two tools. Then we have Android operating system. First of all, it's Google owned Android. Secondly, most widely used operating system with smartphones. With smartphones, even it's more popular as compared to iOS, especially in the European countries, in Britain, and all Asian countries as well. Third is basically it's freeware. Freeware, like freeware means free software plus open source. Open source means the source code, the programming of Android is available for customization. Anybody can download Android. You can put Android on your own cell phone. You can customize the interface of Android and stuff like that. That is basically what open source is. And plus it runs with all Google products. Pros, as you can see, it is freeware, so it is an open source, so it is customizable. It is customizable. Other than that, it is most widely used operating system with cell phone for cell phones. The biggest con is, since most of the applications are free, so spam advertisements, that's basically the biggest problem. So since most of the apps are free, so therefore developers make money by spam advertisements. Okay, that frequently comes while running of the application. Okay. The last thing is Linux. Linux is basically a counterpart of Windows and Mac as well. Best thing is Linux is absolutely free plus open source. So just like the Android, it is basically freeware plus open source. Linux is, first of all, please remember, it is a collaborative effort. Collaborative effort of many companies. So no single company owned it. Like Apple, they do have their own share. IBM, they have their own investment in it, and so none of the single company owned Linux, in fact. So it is a collaborative effort. Just like the Android, it is freeware. Software is absolutely free to use. Anybody can use that. Plus it is open source, so you can also customize it. Most of the Linux flavors are written in Java, so if you know know how to program in Java, you can customize it. It is common operating system on servers and mainframes. So websites and all those applications, web applications, servers, they actually use Linux on the backend. The biggest pros is, of course, it is free, and of course free to download, free to use, and less, since it is customizable, so you can make it more hard, more secure, so less susceptible to viruses as compared to Mac and Windows. Con is basically it is difficult to learn. Because it doesn't offer a good GUI, in fact, as compared to Windows and Mac. So it is difficult to learn, and different flavors, they have different features, different options, different commands. Okay, so we will continue our lecture from here in the next class, which will be over part 2. If you have any questions, please do let me know.